Well, try you again. Here we go again with the technical difficulties. How are we doing? Boom. Uh-oh. Yeah. This is crazy. And it's 1:11. All right, hang on. Let me see something. Okay, let's see here. All right. We tried it on our multi-stream service, but it didn't work. So now we're trying it on Zoom. I don't think it's working. God, this is strange. Ever since what? Last 2 weeks, have so many shows that are just technically this is weird. All right, let me give her a message. This is really strange. Oh my God, I've never had this happen before. But then again, we're in the Ascension. All right, let me send her a note. All right, let's see. Try this one more time. Boom. What's happening, everybody? Oh, there she is. I think she's coming in now. Okay, I think we got it. Let's see here. Well, it might be her signal over there in Sedona. How's it going, everybody? There she is. Okay, hang on now. You got to do one more thing. Turn on your microphone. There you go. There you go.
Well, I'm actually in Colorado, Todd. I'm working. I'm over here working.
You're in Colorado?
Yeah, I'm just here for a month to work on my clients.
My God, you are all over the place. So I don't know what happened. But it took us 50.
I don't do this with computers. It's my phone. And I don't know. My phone wouldn't let me go in on your other program. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I keep Zoom as a backup. So how's it going? So you're in Pagosa?
I'm in Pagosa for July. I left just before the fire started in Sedona. I
Wow.
was lucky, and I don't know. I'm just here seeing clients, and then I'll go back to Sedona in August and take people out on the mountain and do some events. And but it's a funky summer for us.
Yeah, no kidding. You better believe it. So you just moved to Sedona and you're already taking road trips.
Well, I knew I was going to have to come back because I kept my office
Oh,
in
you did?
in
Yeah.
Pagosa. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good. That's
So,
good.
yeah, but I miss Sedona. I'm ready to be there, but it's pretty hot and it's still a little smoky there. So, and man, I mean, what's happening with our planet and all the fires? I mean, I have several friends in Mount Shasta that are dealing with all the fires there, and it's a very tumultuous time, but we have to stay focused.
Well, I saw that. What's going on in Shasta?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, Mount
Well,
Shasta's burning up.
it hasn't hit the town though, has it?
Oh, well, the town of Weed, they were
Oh,
evacuating people.
oh, really? Because
Oh, yeah.
we stayed over not too far from Weed, just on the other side of Weed.
Well, my friends were staying there, and Sistina, or yeah, Shastina has fires and weed, and it's serious. It's
Wow.
serious, and I
So
don't
that's
know if
huh?
you know my friend, you know, Aelia Victory, the recording artist. He went there for a vacation for a
Uh,
month, rented a house, and stayed a week. And he's out of there. He drove out of smoke. It was so scary for them. So scary. We just have to we got to do some serious prayer work today
so
together.
wow. Well, this is the ascension. I'm tagging you on this. I'm a little bit slow because I haven't slept. I didn't sleep last night. I haven't
Well,
been.
you've been
Huh?
so busy, Todd, and
Uh,
you know, but it's okay. One thing I'll say is, as an empath, I mean, it's not a great gift to have, and it can be really uncomfortable, but I feel the fires in my body. I feel the volcanoes. I feel the earthquakes. And those of you out there that are empathic, you know what I'm talking about. It's it's a very challenging time, and so we just but we have our violet flame over Mount Shasta right now, and we're praying for containment there. And of course, you knew Sedona got in fire, didn't you?
yeah, I saw that,
You knew
and
that?
it was interesting because it like came real quick, and then it left as fast as quick as it came. And I guess that's when Shasta started. I saw a
Oh,
picture.
it didn't leave. It didn't leave quick.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
it didn't leave quick.
For a week, all my friends were on evacuation notice.
No, I mean at the very end when it did
Oh,
stop, it went
oh
pretty quick, which
yes.
was kind of strange.
It's
So,
calmed down now.
so what have you been doing since the
Oh
Soulogy
my
thing?
gosh.
I have your picture. I have your pictures. We can talk about that and
Okay.
whatever
Well,
you wanted to do. I don't know if you wanted to do it first or at the.
yes, I want to, well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm so happy to move to Sedona. Really, I'm in bliss there and I miss it, but I needed to come back to see my clients because I have responsibilities here. But um, we took a group up to the mountain. It was fabulous. We had wonderful contact, and what I'm doing in Sedona, I've advertised in the Sedona Journal for people to contact me to have a personal activation, galactic activations, go to the mountain come to the group events. And I'm doing more telephone sessions now because I'm not going to be doing body work in Sedona. I'm there. I need to massage the souls of humanity with the messages and the activations and contacts. So it's all wonderful. But what I wanted to do with you, first of all, is because I know humanity, and especially our beautiful family, everyone is feeling uh, some stress. They're feeling some challenges. They're feeling some separations with, the separation, the wheat from the tares, from biblical scripture. We're seeing that now because humanity is kind of going like this. And I even think of the Red Sea parting and letting us walk through. And so I wanted to start, instead of doing a prayer at the end of the show, I wanted to start with one to just bring everybody together in oneness and just share a little message, a blessing, an activation, a healing. And I know you need all the healing you can get, Todd, because you're working so hard.
I'm just I'm just upset because you're not doing body work in Sedona anymore. So next time I go, I won't be able to get
I'll
a massage.
work on you. I'll work on you. It's
I'm just
I'm
playing.
not focusing on
No, I'm
building a
just
practice there. I mean, if somebody wants me to do body work, I mean, I love it still. So
yeah, I'm just
anyway,
playing with you. I'm playing with you.
play with me.
Yeah.
I need some action
This is a different Victoria y'all gonna see today.
No.
So
No, it's
yeah,
just,
take us through this.
yes,
Let's
I
feel into
just
this. All kidding
I
aside.
want us to just really come together now. Let us all go inside. Let us link into our divine Christ over self, our cell memories, all that we know within our hearts and our cells and our soul. We are here remembering what already transpired. We are here in the play, in the movie. Remember, do not become attached to what is transpiring because we have already won. The divine plan is on course, and another aspect of ourselves is already residing on the second earth, higher timeline. And there's just a little bit of us that are still here, having to go through the motions. And many, many people are feeling like they're not in their body and they're watching themselves go through the motions, but they don't really feel it. Our emotions, the things that we loved, don't mean much to us. We feel we are in that void between the timelines, and it's very important for us to stay moment to moment. Don't get too far ahead of ourselves. Don't let the anger control you. When things come up, just go inside and resolve and say, it's all is well, all is well, all is well. You cannot offend me. I cannot offend you. It is time for the oneness to really lock and load the oneness of who we are. Let go and detach from the separateness, detach from the ego, and allow your heart and soul to remember who you are. who each of us are. We are all here. We are students, we are teachers, we are shepherds, we are sheep, and we are the family of light. And so at this time, we call forth upon the powers of the universe and the Holy Spirit, upon our brother Yeshua Jesus Christ, upon our blessed Saint Germain, our blessed Divine Mother Mary, Kasumi El Moria, Babaji, Lord Maitreya, all the archangels, and upon our benevolent galactic family who are residing. They are cloaked, they are waiting, they are in standby, and they are going to intervene with us at the appropriate time. And it has been given to me through visions, through messages, as well as going on to the Nordic ship myself and sitting with the Galactic Council of the Nordics. And they promised that at the appropriate time, we shall be assisted with this intervention. Keep in mind, there is no artificial fake attack. That is all 3D stuff. It's fear. Do not go there. That is not on the agenda for the higher plan, the divine plan. The Galactic Brotherhood of Light, the councils, the Andromedans, the Nordics are my primary connections, but I honor the Pleiadians, the Venusians, all of the races. I'm not going to go into each and every one of them, but we honor them if they are on the path of benevolency. So at this time, we ask the souls and hearts of humanity that it is up to us to focus on what we truly want to manifest through our thought form. When we look at the stars, they activate through our third eye. When we look at Victoria's footage, we activate through our third eye. When we go into our meditations and our sound healings and our unified groups of oneness, we are in control of this journey because it's already been played out. We're here watching this replay movie. Do not fear, be in peace. And at this time, we speak to each and every cell of each and every soul in your body, souls, your organs, your limbs, your blood cells, your circulation, every system in your body, circulatory, your endocrine system, and we now command and direct through the permission of your subconscious and conscious mind that each and every cell of the souls listening today and the souls listening in the ethers to return to the original imprint of coding of perfection, of regeneration, rejuvenation, and efficient functioning. And that every time you see water, you hear water, you taste water, you shall experience healing within and without. For the sign of the water is the sign of the Spirit, and the Spirit of the universe dwells within each and every soul on this planet. And we bless each of your hearts. We comfort the heartache that you may be feeling from the separation from those that are going this way, and that Jesus has come to me numerous times and indicated to me, do not fret or heartache. All things are going to be resolved. Everything is going to be resolved. But we cannot see it with our 3D eyes and our mind. We must go into our heart and just say, we trust and we know that these things will be worked out. Once again, September 27th, 2020, Jesus and Mary reiterated that we shall and we will go into a deep sleep. And while we are in that deep sleep, all these things will be worked through, decisions will be made for the souls that want to go here, that want to go there, that want to go to the new earth, that want to be living galactically. The messages: do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. What you see around you can take you down, make you tired. So go into that quiet place and do your own cellular regeneration and your own galactic activations, knowing that the divine plan is in place. And we seal this upon humanity, and we bless all those that are being challenged by the fires and the weather, and all the lives that have left because of the heat and the fires. We bless all those that are being challenged on the East Coast and the West Coast and all through Europe, for there is an agenda that's working hard, but they will not succeed. We are victorious, and we shall initiate this divine healing as we usher in our new reality, our new second earth, as it bleeds in and it merges with us, and then it sloughs away the parts that do not serve this earth and nature and our hearts and souls. So we seal this upon each and every soul, and we love you, we bless you, we thank you for your presence on this journey, for you are here because you chose to be here, to activate, to support, to initiate. God bless all of us as we be in the oneness, and as we go into the rest of this beautiful show with my beautiful, precious brother, Todd Medina.
Thank
All
you.
it is, amen.
And so it is.
Thank you. Sorry, I mean, I just go
That was
someplace.
great. That was great. I want to, no, that was, I was just thinking while you were doing that this is the best start we've ever had on the show. I mean, that was great. And, you know, too, I'm just slow today because I didn't sleep. I literally haven't slept in quite a while. So, you know, seeing you and so many other people in Sedona at the Soulogy Fest.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful.
Yeah, but then seeing you now and some of the other people I've seen, and I'm sure the same could be said for me, everybody's changed. Everybody's different. I mean, you look absolutely stunning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's a good hair day.
Yeah. I'm past. I've used all my good hair days up. Hey, tell me about the Nordic Council. I've never heard. Now I know there's councils in all different lineages and stuff, but I've never talked to anyone that specifically was connected to the Nordic Council. Do you have recall of going to those councils?
Absolutely. Well, we'll wind the tape back to a show I did with you a long time ago. And what transpired, it was September 9th, 2018. And I was in Sedona visiting for 10 days.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were beaming me up every day. I'd be getting ready to go someplace, and they'd say, no, put your purse down, go lay down, we want to work with you. And then the last night, and I was having a hard time filming because of an injury I'd had with my head and my eye. And so I was out there. There was a huge, I told you when you were in BOC that there's a huge ship that hangs out there over village of Oak Creek in Sedona. And that ship was over the condo that I had been staying in by myself. And I was trying to film it, and I finally just said, oh, forget this. And I threw my camera down on the seat, and I said, look, just work with me from inside. I'm going to go to bed. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I was taken onto the Nordic ship. I literally sat with an 8-foot being who was consoling me. He was stroking my hand, and he said, Victoria, don't worry. It's okay. You don't need to worry about anything. Don't worry about filming. Don't worry about what's coming. He said, all of the benevolent races are united to intervene and assist Earth. Well, it'll be 3 years in September. And I'm going, oh, enough already, you guys, please, let's get on with it. But so I am on many different ships at night. Like one night I went to Canada. I was up in Russia, and we were looking at land, and they were explaining to me where all of the ships are residing before they intervene. And I'm from Andromeda. A lot of people say, well, you look Pleiadian. Well, I probably look a lot of things, but my original seed is Andromeda. So the Nordics and the Andromedans work closely together. And so they're the ones that I tend to, my assignment, I'm actually, a commander, an ambassador, and I work with 10 races, but I'm really on their team. So I don't know if that answers your question. Or not.
I remember that. I just didn't know it was connected
Literal.
to the Nordics. Well,
no,
no,
yeah, it was
no,
the
I
Nordic.
didn't know. I knew that story, but I didn't know that was the Nordic ship. So, so in terms of, I know you got some pictures we can look at later, and you can talk about that. But
Okay.
have you had? When's the last time that you have recall of a an experience like that? What's the latest? Has it been a while?
I go on the ship a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, but as far as having recall,
I do. I do have recall. Oh yeah, pretty much
every time. Wow.
Pretty much. If I've been out filming, and then I'll go inside and recall. The last time that it was extremely literal was in February of this year. And I was so freaking cold because it's cold on the ships. It's really cold. And the next day I said, I've got to go buy a parka because I am so cold, because we were up in Iceland and Russia. And but a lot of people ask me, Todd, they go, well, why can't I remember? How can I start to remember? And what I say to you is, give permission to your subconscious mind to allow you total clarity. Because as people have been grown up in different structures and different environments, sometimes there's a resistance. But say a little prayer to your higher self, to your guides, to the galactics, and say, I want to remember what Victoria remembers. Because a lot of people, after they hang out with me, things start to happen. They start seeing more ships. They have more experiences. You needed to come and be with us, Todd.
No, I'm good with this. I'm good with this. I'm all ears. Hey, so, and I concur with this too. You mentioned if there's a alien invasion, it's fake. Now, you were told this on the ship, I believe. I mean, I've
been told this for a long, long time. And when, all the things of putting together a new movie about it, I just thought, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I always have. I always have.
Yeah. Well,
I've
you
never.
better agree with me.
You're feisty today. And what
Yeah.
about, okay, so in terms of what you were saying too, just so people know, um, you know, you said that if somebody wants to have recall, then essentially all they have to do is ask uh, and be the initiator. And so you also mentioned cellular regeneration and galactic activation. So those three things as an example. I mean, I know everybody's different, but really, what you're saying is anyone that has the desire to do any and all of those three things can start and can start that process themselves. They'll be heard,
We
right?
are in control
Mm-hmm.
of this journey, and we don't need anybody doing it for us. We don't need to take a class on ascension
Mm-mm.
or that. That's why when I do my events, they're by donation. I'm not out to make money off of what I do with people because this is my assignment. I promised to do this. I was told when I was 5 that this is what I needed to be doing. And so I love being able to give people some keys and tools, but really stop doubting. People kind of just they just don't give themselves credit for having the gift to activate. You're here because you're living in this time right now. You chose to be here, so you have the gift. You have the gift. You just have to press that button and say, okay, I'm ready to do this. And that's why I want to do a lot of mountain work. Of course, they closed Snubbly Hill with the fires. They're still closed down there. So, but when I get back, I'll be doing more of that with people. But, you know, people, I know at your conference, you guys were talking about, well, 2022, 2023. But I have to be honest. I I don't think you can put a date on it because I think we have to stay in the moment because things can change on a dime, a twinkling of an eye.
Yeah,
And it's better for our minds to feel like it could be tomorrow because then we're ready. It
it
was
could
it,
be a
oh,
thousand years.
2020.
It could be no time. It could just be right now. That's all there
Right,
is to it.
right. Well, simultaneously, because
Mm-hmm.
actually you and I are on the ship right now, if you want
Mm-hmm.
to know that. I mean, when I'm with people, I can tell when we've shifted realities. I know you do this all the time, you and
Mm-hmm.
Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but
There's a
let's look at
part
some.
that part there's a part of me because if you look at the different aspects of the universe that we know of, like that we've that someone's spoken of or had experience with, or but generally you have the angels, the archangels, the galactics, the elemental kingdom, and then maybe I'm missing a couple, but most everything seems to be attached to it. I'm talking about from this realm, from the perspective of this realm. But the galactic seems to be very close to us. And sometimes I wonder if we're not just actually on the ship, just go into stasis, and then we have these, because I mean, it's pretty well known for anyone that's done any research, whether you're talking about a civilization that's inside what we call the earth, inner earth, or you're talking about a ship that's 30 miles or 50 miles long. there's entire there's entire realms in there. I mean, we're talking about millions of souls, right? Just in a space that we might not. So I mean, I've always just kind of had that feeling. But yeah, I'm with you. I agree with you. These dates, I mean, it's nice to talk about, but to me, it's always just like a fortune. It just applies that day because one thing one thing I've noticed over the years is people that do forecast, um, we've accelerated timelines numerous times over the last few years. And I think we accelerated another one like February or March.
Well, I have done some predictions that happened years ago, but I don't put any dates on anything now because and I have to say that so much of the time, I mean, I know when I'm beaming back and forth in and out of my body all day long. I mean, I can sit down to maybe look at my phone for 5 minutes or something, and I'm out. I'm gone. I mean, it's like, and so, and you can be sitting in traffic and they'll be beaming you back and forth. I mean, we're bilocating, but we're multifaceted in the universe, and a lot of times, um, that's why people go, well, I don't really remember what I told you because I was in my.
That's happening a lot more lately too. And the other thing that's happening too, I'm not the only one. I haven't slept. I have not gone to bed before 5 o'clock, and as late as not going to bed at all over the last 2.5 weeks. Every day I lay in bed and I just stare at the ceiling, and I'm integrating. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and there's a lot more of this forgetfulness going on. So you're saying that either it's happening at that time, right? I mean, or okay, yeah, I got you.
Well, the forgetfulness, I mean, I swear I can't even remember people's names half the time. They tell me, and 2 minutes later, I said, I'm sorry. What did you say?
See, I'm the same way, but I don't say I'm sorry. I just don't tell them I don't remember. Everybody's hey.
What was your name? I need to hook their name to someone that I know really personally, so I can link it up. But I have to say thank you again for the wonderful conference. The Soulogy Festival was, Todd, you did a fantastic job, and I was so grateful to be there with you and to see people that I had met on Facebook that I got to finally embrace in person. And it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
it was.
you so much.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. It was a lot of things. It was huge. It took me like 3 weeks to recover, and I'm still. But something's going on here as we get into the summer. I mean, we just went through 2 eclipses in the solstice. Everybody's been flat on their back. There's been all kinds of anomalies and aberrations. There's this increased distortion on the world stage. I mean, we know that's a movie. I'm not into politics, but you look at this president, and I don't consider myself an American. I don't even believe in borders.
I'm a Galactican.
I'm a
Galactican. You're a Galactican.
The Galactican. But it's just like I'm watching some videos, and it's like, I mean, you're like at the G7 meeting, he couldn't even talk. And now this isn't about him. I'm talking about what's being presented to us. It's so distorted. It's almost like a comic. It's almost like a cartoon. And I'm not just talking about that. Of course, I'm talking about a lot of the issues out there, including COVID and the quarantines, but it's just crazy,
Well,
and everything's expanding, whether it be the truth.
We didn't expect it to get this weird, Todd. We did not expect for it to get so bizarre.
Yeah.
But the reality around us, not what's inside of us and where we're going, but this reality around us, it's strange. And you can notice a lot of people are dragging themselves around. They're just, I don't know. They say, how do you do? Why are you so happy? Why are you so energized? Well, I have my moments. I have to get a lot of sleep now, though. You need to take care of yourself, Todd. I'm gonna scold you now. You've got to get some rest, but the thing is, when you think you're laying there and you're not sleeping, you're actually somewhere else. You're on the ship.
Yeah.
You know, you just might not realize that that's what's happening to you. And this is what I try to help people figure out if they want to figure some things out. You didn't get your session when you were in Sedona, and you really needed it. But I'm going to give you one when you get back.
Okay. That sounds good.
And
I
it's
did.
yeah,
I
it'll
did
be.
get some sessions, but they were with my team. Did I tell you I came face to face with an owl
Yes.
there in VOC, and then I was approached by 12 javelinas
Oh my gosh.
sitting on and they had a message for me. And then the last night before I left, and I didn't know I was leaving. I didn't know I was going to have a session with with three of my aspects in the same spot where I found the owl. I'm walking down the street, and a coyote walked right up.
Oh my
So
gosh.
there was a lot of stuff happening, and of course I had an ET in the house, Franco.
Well,
And
do you know that when the animals come up, a lot of times the galactics are embodying an
yeah,
animal to make contact with
well,
you.
the owl happened on the night of the, what was it, a full moon eclipse on the 26th of May, I think. So it was 2 days before the festival, and
Yeah.
I got called out to the land at it was 2:30 in the morning, and they had me go out,
Oh,
and I went out, and
oh,
all this stuff happened. But the last thing that happened was I was told by this bird, go through this opening. So I went through the opening, and I just, like, it was about 8 feet from me. I came around the corner, and there's this big owl, like the biggest one I've ever seen. And I've never, well, I have been that close to an owl, but it wasn't near that big. This one was huge. But anyway, we connected, we merged, and he told me that he was a galactic being. That's what he told me. And he told
yeah.
me a few other things too. But yeah, I was going to ask you too. That a lot of people have been, and I'm reading comments. I'm getting messages from people. I'm getting a lot more intel, and I think a lot of people are, than I ever have. Third eye has been all through June. My third eye kept exploding every 2-3 days. But a lot of people are talking about what I would say are, let's just say, 5D type of experiences. Sensitivities are expanding, telepathy's expanding, intuition is expanding.
Telepathy, big time.
And it seems like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I had a talk with with the universe, with me, with the you, me, we, and it. I don't know, probably 10 days ago, and I said, I'm ready to do this now. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are ready to do this now. And I wonder if that's what created, other than our work that we've done with ourselves, this timeline jump I felt in March. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, and
Yeah.
a lot of it is that we have to become more connected in our oneness. We've really got to keep in mind that oneness, because that's where our power is.
Yeah.
Because, it's like lifting a giant earth. We're hoisting the earth up and anchoring another energy of the new earth in, and we have to do it. And it's the unification. We have to be more unified. And I know, everybody's saying it, but we need to really include that in our meditation and in our actions, in our efforts. And yeah. Can we
There's
look at some pictures for a
yeah,
minute?
we can do, we can do that. I want to ask you a question first. I pull them up. So over the years, and even more recently, well, over the years, and I can only go back till 2011. I know you go back a lot further than that, but I remember in 11, 12, 13, 14, people, sharing transmissions and downloads that basically spoke of this time. It spoke of a great divide, and it spoke uh, specifically about several things. But one of the things it spoke about, these transmissions and downloads that people shared post 2012, one of the specifics was there will be a significant number of people transitioning from the planet, like
Yes.
25%.
Yes.
Have you ever gotten that type of intel when you've gone on the ship, or does that resonate with you? Do you have any thoughts on that? I'll pull the pictures up.
Well, I don't really get it necessarily while I'm on the ship. I mean, I got to tell you something. When I
Yes.
filmed myself in 1998, it's when I first discovered capturing the mothership on film. And I was at my cabin and I was filming myself, but no one else was doing it. And the camera went from regular to night vision to regular. So, the beans switched it. But at the end of the footage, projected right across my forehead, right across this eyebrow was the mothership. It's identical to my film footage of the mothership that I have on YouTube. So what they were saying is that I'm on the ship all the time. So, but in essence to your question, I have felt for a long time that a lot of people, if their Earth suit gets tired, they're transitioning. I know that a lot of people are taking the opportunity, for whatever reason. But a lot of people aren't going that way. And a lot of us, our bodies are changing and there's no physical death. I know I'm not going to have physical death, Todd. I know I'm not.
I
My
believe you.
body's already gone through changes. And, but yes, a lot of people are leaving that way. And I do feel that we are coming very close to the overture, the climax, to the initiation. I asked them this morning, I said, do you want me to still talk about the deep sleep? And they said, yep, absolutely. We are gonna do that. And we are going to have the intervention. But I think that the people that are leaving now and the pets, many people's little fur babies are leaving. But I promise you, they're waiting in the parallel reality for us because my dog is there. I take him for walks, and then St. Peter's walking down the hall at the same time that I'm taking my dog. It's like, I know I've seen for years them transporting when they'd say, all of these dolphins disappeared. Well, I know they're waiting for us on the second Earth energy. All the animals that they thought died in the fires in Australia or whatever, well, they're waiting for us. They've been transported. But we just have to get out of our limited thinking of thinking that what we're experiencing here is real, because we're moving out of the illusion, out of the dream, and into universal reality. And as we start embracing that, and I have a lot of friends that are getting ready to transcend, and they're ready. They're ready to go. Their Earth suit can't function here, and so it's up to us. We have to hold the grid together.
You said that you have a lot of friends that are preparing to transition. Is that something that they're aware of, or you're aware of, or both?
Oh, they're aware.
So they know, they already know they're going to transition.
And they're ready. I mean,
Yeah.
and they've been on the forefront of doing a lot of work for humanity. I mean, profound people.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, I'm okay with it. I mean, a lot of people, they say, I really want to stick around, but if I don't, it's okay. I'm going to orchestrate it from the other side. And I mean, I've already died. I already know what it's like. And, and I've had several close calls, but I just believe that once again, I reiterate, we are in control of our reality, of our journey, of our ascension, of our graduation, of our translocation, our teleportation. We are teleporting when we're asleep. Just keep in mind, I've said this before, when you wake up at 2:22, 3:33, 4:44, you've just come back into your body. You've already been on the ship. You've been in the orientation meetings or caucuses or whatever, and you've come back in and you look at the clock and go, oh. And so we're doing that more and more. But I really feel, like you said, it could be happening right now. It could be, Todd. I mean, I'm not making a lot of plans in the far future. I just make sort of some immediate tentative things because we need to be in the moment and listening. And another thing is people are getting a lot of high-pitched noises, and that the ships are communicating to us. And we might even get a phone call. We might even get a strange phone call on our cell phone that says, okay, head to the mountain, head to Snebbly Hill, or wherever, and so.
Yeah, those high pitches, those tones have increased a lot. I know I'm not the only one that says that. They've increased a lot. I try to basically, I guess, merge or align with it, almost like I'm a frequency. And I've heard other people say something similar, that there's starting to be more of an understanding of what they're meaning. Do you have any insight on that?
Well, I've been getting those since I was 7 years old. And I almost didn't pass second grade because of it, because I was trancing out to the pitches. And what it is that they're opening us up into receiving communication, clairaudient, telecommunication from the galactics. And that's when I started having my experiences, with 7 years old, with that kind of thing. Now everybody's like getting, and I'm going, oh, great, this is great. That just means that you're tapped in, and don't stress about it. Just kind of go with it, ride the wave, get on that surfboard.
Far out. You want to show? You want to take us through these pictures?
Yeah. Let's look at.
All right, hang on. Let me pull it up.
I'm so glad you could show some.
How's that?
Okay. Well, this is one of my favorites, and this was at Snebbly Hill this last winter when I was putting on my events in Sedona. And the ship would shapeshift, and this is one of the images that I captured when I went into a steel frame. And I think it looks like Jesus or a master. I mean, what do you think?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I saw it. To me.
Yeah. But this particular image shows up on a regular basis, not just one night, not just one night.
Wait a minute.
Now it just went tiny.
Yeah, hang on. I'm fixing it. I'm trying to make it bigger. There we
But
go.
you know, when I'm filming the Merkabahs, I can see a lot of these things with my physical eye as I'm filming. Sometimes I see my children inside the Merkabah moving because, you know, they're on the ship and everything, so I can see them. And I also can see many people in ceremony. And see, it's an aspect of us, Todd. It's not them and us, it's we.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Yeah.
it's the aspect of us. I learned a long time ago that I was orchestrating contact from here and from the ship. And that's why it was effortless, because as soon as I go out, I mean, every single night, I have the V ship sitting outside, even here in Pagasa, where I'm staying in a friend's apartment.
They follow you around.
Well, it's not so much following, it's just it's my ship.
It's you. That's what I mean.
It's my ship. I'm following myself.
Here, let me try. You're following yourself. I'm trying to, for some reason. Here, I'm gonna get us back to.
Go to that spaceship picture with the windows. That's cool.
Yeah, let me see. Hang on. Okay. Boom. I believe that's it. It says it December 19th, 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so let me. Huh. It won't let me do it.
That's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff happening.
Let you do the other one.
Let me try.
I'll talk about what was happening while you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I had a vision a week before this photo was taken, and I literally saw a ship go past the window that looked just like the one you're going to show. And then a week later, I came out from my office and I was looking at a V ship, and it was bright and it was hovering over the street. And then, but when I took the photograph, this is what appeared. And this is identical to what I saw 1 week prior. Now, the same night, that's the same night that St. Peter came to me, and I had been with my dog, and then he came walking down the hall and threw his arms around me, and I was crying, St. Peter, St. Peter, and he was touching and healing my head and my face, and then he said, you don't have to die to come to the gates of heaven. So all of those things happened on the 19th of December.
2020.
2020, this last year. So one thing they want me to share this part, and that is when you're looking at a Merkabah or what you feel as a ship, just keep in mind that what you're seeing is only a fraction of what might be around you. I've had groups where we've been out and we've had a ship sitting on the ground while we were out looking at the sky going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then when I panned the camera, there was a saucer on the ground next to the group. So be expansive and just keep your mind open to that. But it's not a fun photo.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then you had one before, one time you came on, and it was a picture taken from inside your house.
Oh, with the windows. The windows.
There were windows
just like that. Yes.
Yeah, there were windows in the picture on the wall.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. I'm so happy you remembered that, because that was in 1994 in March. I mean, I just remember every day. And my dog was panting and looking around the room, and he was seeing, what was going on. And I captured those windows on the wall, and then they transmitted to me that just because you think you're in your bed, you're in a hologram in your bedroom, and you're actually on the ship.
See,
So,
that's what I was referring to earlier. I feel
mhm,
like, you know, I think, and I wasn't a big Star Trek fan, but I remember seeing on that show where they were on the ship and then they would go to this room and the room was basically endless. It looked like Eden, right? So I guess it was a hologram, maybe with, but you know, who knows? But yeah, this picture reminds me of the picture of the
very
windows that
much.
were in your room. Yeah.
It's the same shape, and you know what? Those same windows, um, the healing center that I had until I let it go this last year. I've moved to a different location here in town, but I'd be I'd be working on somebody, and those shaped windows would show up on the wall in my healing room when I was working on people. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I love it.
So I remember when you came on, I'll pull some more pictures up, but I remember when you first came on and you told the story, and you don't have to retell it. You told the story about how when your dad was working in the Southwest, I think it was in the desert, and he was crossing, and he picked up a hitchhiker and or somebody that was on the road, and the man told him uh, some things, and one of them was about you, and so on. You were talking, and so that always really stood out to me in your story. Do you ever have any communication with your dad?
With my father, I feel his presence, but he he has come and given me some messages over the years, but um, I feel like he actually reincarnated into my
Mm.
nephew.
Oh wow.
So, because they look identical and everything, but just to have that story accurate, it's actually the Northwest. It was
Oh, the
in
Northwest.
passing Pyramid Lake outside Reno, where the
Well,
ships
okay. Yeah,
hang
that's
out in Pyramid Lake and that and and it was February 12th, 1947. And
you know
yeah,
that's very possible. I don't know if I have permission to repeat this story, so I'm not going to mention who it is. But uh, I was told by someone that we know that in their case, what was it? They had a brother and God, there was the brother and there was someone else, and they both actually it was two siblings that had passed, one at birth, and then our friend had two children, and when the children were young, came up to our friend and said, "You know, I'm your brother." Right.
I think I know who you're
You
talking
know what I'm
about.
talking. Yeah, you probably know what I'm
Yeah.
talking. But so
Mhm,
that makes a lot of sense to me. That something
mhm.
like that could happen. Here, let's try
Yeah,
this. Let's go to this next one here.
yeah.
I pulled it up and enlarged it. What is this one?
Okay, that's actually from January when I was in Sedona to put on an event, and I was given a week's notice that I needed to get there quickly. And I called my friend Divine Roberts and asked her if she could pull together a group, and we had 30 people in a week's notice. And while I was there, this this actually appeared over Village of Oak Creek when I had that missing time, when I knew they took me up. But I felt the presence of Saint Germain. I just felt like the violet flame
Now,
through that fire.
was this in the sky or was it in a?
It was a ship.
It
Yeah, it
was a
was a
ship
ship.
in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is one of the still shots from
Yeah.
a live encounter with the ship.
I got you. I got you.
Mhm, mhm.
Wow.
So, but I love it. I just, it's one of my favorites.
Let, let
Everything is a favorite.
let's see. Let me see this one here. Hang on. Let me pull this one out because this one's pretty interesting now, and it looks like it's new. Now let me just go back over here. here. Oh, wait. There it is.
Oh,
What is
I
this
know
one?
what one it is. Yeah, that was okay. I went back to Sedona. It was my 27th year anniversary for when the first Merkaba, if you recall, the diamond-shaped window that showed up coming out of my head on
Mm-hmm.
film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went up to Snebly Hill on that date, and I was out there, and then the wheel shows up. Of course, this is quite a bit like the wheel within the wheel that I've been getting on film for quite a few years now. But I just love that and the tail on it, and that's the top of Snebly Hill right there. But that was on my 27th anniversary on Snebly Hill. Okay, so that I went up there to just be with that, and then I put another event on in Sedona when I was there. So
Far out. That's a
yeah,
good pic. That's a good picture right there.
it's cool.
That's a
It's
really
cool.
good picture. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I
So
mean, I had a lot more, but I didn't send them to you because
no, I have them. Hang on, I'm going to pull up a couple
oh
more.
no, I had more from that day.
Oh, you did.
Actually,
So
see,
this this one was a little bit different.
yeah,
So let me
that
pull. Let
was a
me,
daytime deal, and they do come to me at Snebly Hill at dusk. Um, it hasn't gotten dark yet, and I've had people with me, and
well, when I
uh,
was there with you, you took a bunch of people out, didn't you? Didn't you take a?
well, I took Franco and Kimberly out.
Did y'all see anything?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did. But let me tell you about this one. This is a still shot again from this last winter when I was filming the ship. It once again you can see a presence of people there,
Yeah.
and maybe it's you and me, Todd. I don't know, but we're it's us. It's
Yeah.
us, and I just know that and oh well, the night that I took Franco and Kimberly up, um everything well, what was waiting for us was this really interesting vehicle, but it wasn't a typical Merkaba, and the news was trying to say it was a weather balloon, but it wasn't because it lowered down over us. And he started expounding to these tourists that were standing there and
Who was?
explaining to them, and
Who was?
Franco.
He started telling them about it.
Yeah, well, they were asking questions and everything, but
Hmm.
what Franco felt like it was a galactic satellite from a mothership, and then as we stayed there later, we had more and more ships show up, and then a few days later, I took another group out. So anyway, it's
I mean, you've been doing this a long time, and I know you know a lot of people. Um, so you must converse with a lot of people. And something else that seems to be happening more and more is people having, um, I guess, making connections with each other in dream state, and then the
yes,
next day, somebody calls you or messages you. Now, this has happened over the years, but I mean, it seems to be happening a lot now. Do you
it's
have any?
so
Do you have
cool.
any? Do you have any
Oh,
intel? Is that
constantly.
just the veil thinning? Are we going to
Oh
have?
yeah.
Are we going to have recall? Are we going to have to sleep anymore? That's one thing I want
Well, I think you're doing pretty good for not sleeping, Todd. But
to
but I know that I go through periods of time when people that I haven't talked to in years,
mm,
and I've thought of them, then they call the next day,
mm,
or I call someone and they say, "Oh, I was just getting ready to call you," and
yeah,
we hadn't talked for years. The beautiful thing is we are becoming so connected telepathically, and I'm looking forward to being You know, I love telepathy. I was telepathic with my parents, Todd.
Mm.
They always knew what they were thinking and what they were going to do, and even people on my table, I give them the answer to the next question before they've asked it, because I mean, constantly my whole life, and now everyone is doing that. Go, oh, I was just getting ready to say that or something. So we are progressing, and sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit, but we are progressing. We
Yeah, I
are,
agree with that.
you know,
But
and
I just wonder what that's going to lead to, because everything's expanding, and if there's more, if it's a more frequent occurrence that people are connecting in dream state and saying, "Hey, I had a dream about you," and oh yeah, I was there too.
well,
I
you're not in
wonder.
a dream. You're in a parallel reality.
Mhm.
You're. It's not a dream. It's the
Well, I
parallel
know it's not a
reality.
dream. Yeah, no, I got you
Right.
there. But
Right.
I just wonder if that's going to transfer over into what is our conscious awake experience. I
Oh, I
mean, I
totally.
would I would think it would, I
Yeah.
really
I
would,
totally.
because everything else is expanding.
I totally agree with that, and I mean, you know, I've loved it when they've had articles on the internet and they say, well, there is a parallel reality when you think you're in a dream and you're with a family member. You really are with that family member, even though you think it's a dream.
Yeah.
But it seems so real. And I've had experiences with my parents on the other side a lot. And but that's why I'm saying we can go to sleep tonight, Todd, and we might be done with all this craziness, and we're just gonna move on into our divine destiny, the divine plan. I hope and pray every night that we can just do
Well,
that.
obviously it is a quantum. I mean, the experience is created through our in a quantum fashion. Observer spits it back out. That's why it's so important. The thoughts, words, and actions, and then that's the reality. Um, and God dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. see, see,
I know.
I haven't. I've been up since 7:30 yesterday.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna massage your brain right now.
Yeah. No, I'm okay. God, what was I gonna ask you though? I can't
It'll
remember
come
now.
back. It'll come back in a minute. Are we running out of time?
No, no, no. We're
Oh,
okay.
oh,
Unless you're in a
okay.
hurry. Are you in a hurry?
Oh, I'm not in a hurry. I got all day.
Yeah, I'm trying to
So,
remember what. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so it would make sense to me that if people were whatever, okay, like for instance, last year there was quarantines all over the world. There was a lot of self introspection. There was a lot of people benefiting from that are in these communities or not. So there was like a common energy, energetic template in place, or something happening that was very common. And then another thing is, I've heard quite a few people say over the years, I've said it, but it kind of takes on new meaning. Like, people are getting tired of giving up their freedom. Uh, they want their sovereignty, and
yes.
right.
Yes.
And so that's got to be putting a pressure energetically that will take a physicality. But what I'm saying is, and I think a lot of people, and I've done it in 2021 at least 2 or 3 times. I've said, "Get me the hell out of here." Now, I thought I was done with those periods, but I examined it a little bit. Then I heard comments from other people, and I thought, wait a minute, it's not really impatience, and it's not a lack of faith. It's just, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of fighting this thing, even though it's gotten better and better and better. And those of us who are plugged in know that. But that's got to have a force too. Like, I would
Well,
think that's got to have a force as well.
we have to put ourselves in a bubble of protection, a vortex of energy, that we can reach out and we can assist and do what we need to do, but we really have to protect ourselves from all the BS that's going on out there, because that's what makes us feel like, oh man, get me out of here. And fortunately, I haven't gotten there. I mean, maybe a few years ago I might have, but I know how close we are, and I feel like a broken record, but it's like on the tip of your tongue. The blink of an eye. So, just everybody needs to take control, take responsibility to, and it's not that I'm just this light and love person. I'm sorry, but I am a light and love person. But I have been to the mountain. I feel like Martin Luther King, honey. I have been to the mountain. I've been to the other world. I've been to the second earth. And I know and I live it. And that's what gives me strength. And I just think people, they need to pat themselves on the back, knock themselves on the head, and say, now remember who you are. Go look in the mirror, look in your eyes, remember who you are, and say, I can do this. And the more we visualize where we need to be and how we're doing this orchestration, this lock and load to our new reality, it's up to each of us. Well, I can't do it for you. You can't do it for me.
Mm-mm.
And you don't have to go and pay $333 to learn to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
talking about that. I'm not talking about your conference. I'm talking about a course that's online that, we'll
Yeah,
pay $333 and I'll teach you to ascend.
yeah.
I'm talking about that, not about
No,
events.
no, I'm okay. I mean, we've never charged for that. Was the first time we ever charged for anything, and it was
No,
no,
no.
I'm good with that. No, I agree with you. I'm
And,
watching, like I can think of two people that are pretty well known in social media,
yeah,
and I'm watching them and others who are in more of the old pattern of teacher student, or and I'm watching it crumble. It doesn't have the traction it used to have, and that's not a slight against any group or any people. It's just evolution. People are Sovereignty means a lot of things, and it means self-empowerment, right?
exactly.
Right. I mean, so it's interesting how things are changing, and it's interesting how how judgment, how people are starting to actually embody no judgment.
Mhm.
You're actually starting to see, I think Soulogy Fest was a good example of the
Yes.
energy when there wasn't that going on. It was really
There was
interesting.
there was no ego stuff going on there. It was so wonderful, Todd. And I just appreciated that it was a oneness, and it was a creation, it was a family reunion.
Yeah, it was.
And
It was like an effortless energy too. And I kept thinking while we were there, I kept thinking this is like a slice of heaven. This is like a preview
this is
of
what it
what.
feels like there,
Yes,
really. This is
that's what
what
I was
we're
getting at.
going to. Hmm.
Yeah.
Our new
The
reality.
the difference being we're in this physical
Yeah.
form. You know, I'm like a lot of people. I've researched a lot over the last few years, right? Since 2011. And one of the things that you see in throughout history, we're talking the real history, uh, is basically where you'd have these civilizations like the Phoenicians or the Sumerians or the Dogon tribe or Egyptians, and they just have this eruption out of nowhere of technology and higher levels of agriculture and just different things. And so a lot of the stories, many of the stories, if not all the stories, talk about the gods that came from the sky in some way or another, came to live with them, shared the technology, shared the cultural improvements and so on, and then they left. And I was thinking, well, about a month ago, I thought, people keep talking about this alien invasion, ET. Maybe this time we just decided to come in form, and we're actually the boots on the ground or the spaceship on the ground, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
in a sense, like a module from the mothership or something, but
Well, we are they and they are us.
exactly. Yeah.
But we are not part of the scenario that is tapped into fear and
Yeah.
anxiety and everything. I mean, that's the thing. We have to let our light shine. We have to let everyone feel. We have to be contagious. Our presence, our consciousness has to be contagious. And I know I've seen it in action. And we're doing this. We're
Mm.
doing it. It's happening. Really, it's beautiful to see what's happening. Some people get kind of negative and they go, well, not enough people have awakened yet, or whatever. And just keep in mind that it's not for us.
Yeah.
It's not for us
That's
to
it. Yeah.
try to conjugate and analyze and pick apart. Just be and embrace each other. And hey,
That's
I
it.
hug everybody. I'm
Hey,
the
and,
hug.
and
I'm
this,
the hug magnet.
I'm with you on that. Hey, that's that statement, for someone to make that statement that not many, not, or even those people over there aren't awake. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement to make to the universe in this day and time. I
Right.
would I would personally think that you'd have a little humble pie come in your direction, because there's so much going on. I mean, and how do we know how it's set up? Are you familiar with? I know you're familiar with Dolores Cannon
Oh,
and Ed.
absolutely. I knew her in
Okay,
'98
right on.
personally.
So she said, and Edgar Casey said this as well. And again, I can't remember if I can repeat some of this stuff from one of our friends, but those two are well-known people. Both of them spoke of background people, cutouts, extras. They called them different names, but that constituted 60. What is it? 60 to 70% of the population. And if that's the case, then I guess there would be some truth to to a comment like that. But again, how do we know? We don't know.
We, the more we think we know, the more we don't know.
And the more you know,
And
the less you know. So
and and that's why just continue.
yeah.
People just need to continue to um, hold hold their hands out and say, I'm ready to receive.
Mm.
I give permission to my higher self, to my future self, to my galactic self, whatever you want to say it. And just say, I am the creator of my reality, and I'm in this place of peace. I mean, I have to tell you, uh, it was such a glorious thing to go to Sedona, because I love the people here in Colorado. But what was missing is I didn't have my tribe. I have my tribe there. And it's like, it was just so endearing and nurturing to be with, all the other Kermit the Frogs. It ain't easy being green, and we find each other and we embrace. And so, but I encourage people, if there's something that's not working in your life, really sit down and do the pros and the cons of what you want and what you don't want, and then say, okay, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to, be celebrating. And if there's any changes that you can make them. I don't think people need to run around the country and say, well, I better move here because I'll be safe with the earth changes. It's not even going to matter on that, because wherever we are, we're perfect. We're perfect.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think that's important. I do think that's important. Like figuring out what it is you want, because the energy is supporting it like it never has before. Manifestation, the process of idea to manifestation has increased rapidly. The linear aspect. There's just so many things that are, and there's also a lot of examples of people who are working with that energy, and they're walking it, like where you ended up getting a place in Sedona. Like, how the hell does somebody get a place near the chapel? How does that you can't even find a refrigerator box behind a store to live in Sedona.
Well, it was gifted to me, Todd. It was just gifted to me. My dear friends have lived there for 12 years, and when I was coming back and forth to Sedona, they said, it's time for you to move forward with more of your galactic mission, and we want you to live in our little apartment that's on the ground floor patio apartment of our house. And they gifted it to me. There's no way there was nothing to rent. Plus,
I know.
I really couldn't necessarily afford anything there either right now. But the thing is, when the time is right, you manifest what you need. The universe, blesses us, gives it to us. I feel extremely humble and grateful for how my life, I have the best of both worlds. I still have a practice in Colorado, but I'd rather be in Sedona. I'm here for a little bit to earn some money so I can pay the 3D bills. But boy, I'm blissed out. When I'm in Sedona, I'm telling you, I'm just flying my friends that I live with, they say, you leave in the morning, you come back and you shower, and you leave again and you don't come back till midnight. And I am just embracing it. It's fabulous.
Beautiful.
So,
I've had a lot of extra time to research since I don't sleep anymore. And I was doing I was checking out different platforms in social media that I might not be familiar with, right? Because I like to see what people are doing and to see what's happening. And one of the things I noticed was the incredible number of people doing light language, specific videos of light language on YouTube. I'm talking like boatloads. And a lot of them would be channels that had 100, 200, 300, 400 subscribers. So they had to be fairly new. And a lot of the videos were between like 100 and 700 views, and might anywhere from a day old to a year old. And so I plugged in and I said, so what's that all about? Because I'm always talking to him about what can I do to create more awareness with what we're trying to do at Soulogy. And basically what I received was, and I wanted to hear what your thoughts were. I was told that what you're seeing is what you're working for, what you're all working for. You're all trying to wake people up to all of these, if you put it in human terms, all of these subjects which were considered fantasy, and you've done it now. And I went, wow. I went, really? And they said, yeah, you've done it, because if you turn it off right now, it's already spread. Like you said, it's contagious. So imagine 10 years ago and having 1,000 channels on YouTube where people are doing light language. it wasn't going on.
That's really amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So so anyway, I wanted to ask you, how does that sit with you? Do you, and I know, because there's a lot of these cliches, like we've already done this and we're just going through the motions. Well, there's something very, very important, if not the most important thing, and that is the present moment. So I don't really buy that 100%, but I
I don't
do,
either.
buy that we create things energetically first and then they materialize. But that just really struck me. And this was last night, I guess, or this morning. And I thought, wow, and it doesn't mean, because I plugged in again and I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, just keep on going. But part of the message was there's no linear, so don't rush anything. You don't need to rush anything. Just let it all happen now. But yeah, the awakenings, it can't be stopped now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I totally love the presence of the awakening that's coming through from the language of light. I mean, I was seeing the language of light in my pictographs from my film footage clear back in the year 2000 when I got the Ezekiel chariot of fire on film, and the pictographs were talking. So then when people started bringing more in of the language and the hands, and this is a key, it is a clue of the remembering of who we are, because in the grand scheme of our eternal selves, these are the things that we do in our new reality. And so that's an aspect of what's bleeding in to our experience here. And maybe some people resonate with it instantly, or other people, it might just kind of grow on them, but it's all good. But I mean, I mean, I can talk the language of light as well, but I've done dancing with it. My friend, she does dancing. My friend's in New Zealand, she does language of light dancing. But I just believe that it's all the keys and the communication and the transmissions from the vastness of the galaxy, of the universes, beyond the universes. And it's a wonderful gift. And I just, I totally support everyone that's doing it. I'm glad because that's a big part of the activation, even if people don't understand it. Like if they watch my film footage, they might not understand everything, but they're activated. When they watch the language of light, they hear it, they're activated. It's an activation. So, I don't know. Is that what you want me to say?
Well, no, I just wanted to
I
know.
mean,
Yeah, I wanted to see what.
yeah, that does that answer? I mean, that's how I feel about it. Because
Yeah.
I feel that it's
So,
ancient. It's
right.
ancient, and a lot of us were here in the beginning, and we walked here.
I resonate with that. I always have.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
remember when it was the
Siberia.
goo. I remember when it was just goo, and I remember how it smells. I
Yes.
remember what it feels like and looks like. Yeah. Um, Another
Yeah.
thing too, you mentioned something earlier. You said that you will not have what we call, well, you will not have a transition. You will not, I guess, you will not, by human terms, the body,
Physical death.
physical death.
Yeah.
Now, I've not always felt that way, but I certainly have over the last 2 or 3 years felt like I'm going to live several hundred years here,
Yes.
or at least I have this option, right?
Well, you're going to live several hundred years, but it's not on the earth that you're on now.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Now, but
because our molecular structure's changing. So
right.
our our physical form is changing. I've seen my light body. I've seen my light body step out of my body that laid in the ground and keep walking. But that wasn't death. That was the emergence of moving forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've seen mine. We've seen ours together and separately. I was actually playing with mine about 3 days ago,
oh
and yeah, I
good.
was because I was trying to duplicate what I've already done in terms of physically teleporting. We've had a couple of instances of that, but it wasn't really conscious the way a session might be, or a connection or communion might be. I mean, it was conscious, but it didn't happen at the same time. Like I went to sleep and then it happened, right? But I was working on it the other night, and I put my hand up, and I could see the light body, like the forearm and the hand move out from my body, and I could feel it. Which the only time I've ever felt anything like that was when I had a couple of out of body experiences, and when I had a Kundalini experience when I was about 25, and I got up out of the bed and I looked down, and I was on the bed, but my feet were on the ground.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't see it, but I could feel it.
Mhm.
So have you talked to other people that's happening to?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Really?
it's how everyone that I talk to are having lots of experiences like that.
Yeah.
Um, did I ever mention to you when I was in Lake Powell and I filmed myself trancing out in my
No.
hotel room? And that's the night that I was taken onto a ship, and they showed me our Earth and the second Earth and these things that were going to happen to merge. But I filmed myself, and in the morning, when I looked at the footage, um, my body was morphing out. I mean, it looked like the energy that it was actually coming out of the spaceship in some of my pictures.
Yeah.
And so I know things are happening to people. They might not give themselves credit,
Yeah.
knowing that they're progressing as much as they are, but it's happening. And I love hearing your stories of, when you're doing things with Morgan and everything, and just
That sounds kind of adult rated.
woo! No,
uh,
no, I mean,
but no,
feeling
no, yeah.
the presence of one
Mhm.
another, and
Mhm.
you're on the other sides of
Yeah.
the
I mean, when
world,
you have a physical sense, I
you
mean, it's like just
yeah,
literally a physical experience. That's pretty,
it's
and again, that's just
yeah,
got to be a sign or a peak of what's coming. But like, okay, so like at the Soulogy Fest, and I don't even know the number. I just remember, and I've mentioned it several times, there had to be 40, 40 women that I met there that I didn't know, that I met for the first time. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about people I just didn't know their name, I didn't know their face. And every one of them had the same soul, which is basically the soul that you have, that Pamela
yes,
has, that Divine has, that, uh, and I was just amazed by it. And my question is, because you've known a lot of people for a long time, and most of them are women. Let's face the fact. I mean, y'all are
yeah.
leading. Well, y'all are leading the way,
Unfortunately,
and
we
that's
need
just
more men like you.
yeah. Well, they're coming. They're starting to come. But what I was going to say is, what's happening? Because these women that I'm referring to, and there was a few men too. Don't get me wrong, but they're in the background. They don't want to be seen. Uh, they all had the same soul, heart, smile, and brilliance from their eyes. They're all very plugged in, very
Yes.
plugged in. And I'm just curious, because I don't run in those circles, but what do those women talk about? What are they going through? What are they experiencing? like, what are your friends experiencing? You mentioned about, a couple of things, but I mean, is it, I mean, and I'm sure it's not the same for everybody, but
Yeah.
are they, is it mostly a clairsentient type of thing? Are people having
Well,
experiences,
not
visitations?
not just that, but I mean, I'll get 10 phone calls a day.
Really?
I'm very connected with people all over the world, in the country, and I'll get 10 people call me, and they will all say the same thing to me the same day. They'll all call and say, I had this happen and I felt this. And I'm going, there's the 100th monkey thing
Yeah.
happening. We're all doing it. And, I have lots of beautiful goddess sisters, that they're tapped in. But yeah, they wish that their guy would manifest in physical form, or galactic would embody a person to come in and be with them. Um, a lot of women feel that way. Um, I mean, the dreams and the visions that are happening, it's just that, when I meet my sisters and my brothers, you know, I recognize their spirit, like you recognized our spirits.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a knowing, there's a knowing, and you can't really define that knowing. It just is.
Yeah.
And that's why coming together like we do is really important. Um,
I'm gonna show you a picture, and I want you to tell me. Let me see if this is it. My, I think that's it. Let me see. Okay. Here, let's see. I just want to know what, if anything, this means to you. Let me find it. Let me find the Zoom. Here we go. My beloved sister just sent this, and she said she didn't know why, but I know it means a lot to me, and I don't have all the answers with it. But does that mean anything to you? Orion and Pleiades, Aldebaran, be that whole
well,
area.
I
I know
mean,
you're. Yeah,
it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's our lineage,
yeah,
it's, but, I don't know, other than just feeling. I mean, I know I've had lives in Pleiades.
yeah.
I've had lives in Andromedan. Um, I think I might be a little Venetian too, but when I look at this, it's the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I'm flying around on ships, I mean, we're flying past these places too. I can say that.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Chris,
cool.
yeah, that's been like for about 3 years, really about 4 years, 4 years. That's, it's like I thought it was following me around everywhere. It's typically Aldebaran, but of course that's the eye of Taurus, and then Pleiades is. But it's like when I was in Hawaii, it was everywhere I went.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I just didn't know if there. That's when you said the lineage to me. That resonates with me. Like that, I was
Well, then
shown.
that might be your lineage,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember I was shown one time, and I think it went Andromeda, Sirius, and then came into Orion, and then that whole thing we just saw. But it doesn't matter. I was just curious about it because it's been popping up in my field the last month. And other people have been bringing it to my attention. So I didn't know if that meant something.
I'm going to do some meditation about you, Todd, after the show, and
What are you going to do?
I'll write to you
Hmm.
and tell you what I get.
You can do it
I,
now. You want to do it now? You want to do it live? Hmm?
uh, no, no, I
No.
want to
You
tune in
better.
to
Okay.
you
Yeah.
on another, when it's just private. Because the thing is, I mean, I'll give an example. When I'm giving a presentation, I'll look across the room and I'll say, well, I recognize you, and you're from this lineage and this lineage, but you're wearing something different on the ship. But when I look in people's faces, there's a recognition of who they are, where they're from, and but I just have to study a little bit, and I don't want to do it on the show, but I'm going to write to you.
Okay.
But I think that if you're getting clues, I mean, if you have that feeling, like some people will say to me, I just feel like I'm from the Pleiades. And I says, well, then you probably are. I mean, if you have those feelings,
well, I don't think it's like, like I know when I first,
club.
Yeah, I mean, I first noticed Sirius years ago, back in the old original studio. I'm talking like 2014. And I would go out to my back patio and it would be there every night. And I mean, every night. This went on for like 2 years. No, the stars move. And I would, every night it was there, in the same spot. So I don't know. To me, it's,
I will say this, because of your spiritual foundation, how connected you are to the universe, I do feel a resonance with my group, the Andromedans, around you. But the thing is, see, we can be multifaceted because we've lived many lives.
That's right. We've been them all.
In the universe. And then, of course, many lives here. But you are extremely an ancient soul. And I mean, you're very, very connected to Source. I will say that. You are.
Thank you.
And so, you probably have a liaison with all of them,
I feel like I do. I feel like we all do.
You're very Venetian, though, because you're very sexual.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, you seem like it anyway. I don't know.
Keeping it real. Oh my God, that's probably the best comment I've ever heard on 2-3,000
That you're very sexual.
Victoria Liljenquist said I was very sexual on 3,000 episodes. That's probably the most classic. I'm gonna have to cut that one out.
Well,
cut it out and put it on the little remix.
That's not a bad thing,
No, I think that's, I mean, I this whole thing about sacred sexuality, I mean, people don't understand, at least from my perspective. This is life force the whole time. This show is sexual energy. This Soulogy sexual energy. I mean, sexual energy is creation energy, is what it is,
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, people tell me, they say, you're a very sensual person, because when I'm working, I'm rhythmic, and I move in my healing session, and it isn't meant to be a sensual massage, but yet they feel like they're floating, and it's, I mean, I know I have a connection to Aphrodite and a whole bunch of other people out there.
That's why I didn't want to get a massage, because I knew something was going to happen.
Well, yeah, but I've got this electric.
And Franco came back with a big smile on his face. So
it shoots in your body, and it's not. It's far beyond. It's far beyond typical body work.
Yeah.
In fact, But anyway, I don't know. I just think that you're like a Greek god.
Oh my God.
A Greek god. You and Morgan have been together through the eons of time.
Yeah.
And you just have a pureness. You have a pureness. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sexuality and sensuality and just activating, because that is our God. That is our God force.
Yes.
And I don't know how we got on that subject.
Well, well, that's very true, though. That's a very true statement, because you know, we had that incident in 2018 where we were told to face each other in the middle of the night, and we morphed for 45 minutes, right? So we with no talking, we saw each other in the incarnations that we knew each other, and there were 45 minutes of this
Oh, and
every.
your faces were shape shifting and everything.
Yeah, totally. And so
Yeah, cool.
to your point about that energy, that energy, some of the, and I'm sure she could say the same about me, but some of the stuff I saw, it was from the human perspective, it was grotesque, right? Like she had one with two heads, right? And very, very, from our perspective, a very not an attractive looking thing, but the resonance, which I would say this the sacred sexuality, the creation energy that carries all the code, it was the same for every one of them, right? So that just goes to show you it's not about what it looks like, you know.
Not
But,
about your outfit, because
mm-mm.
it's the energy of your eternal essence. And
Yeah.
so
Are you
that's
having
cool.
are you having internal energetic movement? I'm not I'm not necessarily talking about chakras, but like there's a lot of stuff going on inside my body.
Mhm.
And I've
A
heard other
lot of,
people.
are you gurgling?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean
So you're gurgling a
yeah, that
lot,
happens.
or?
That happens. That's happened for a long time. That happens every day, all day. Anytime I get on the camera with Morgan, it starts. Like as
Oh,
soon as anytime we lay down, it starts. But I'm talking about like almost like it's, well, I would have to say it's physical. It's a physical sensation. It actually feels like a ball's moving around or something's adjusting, and it feels very physical.
well, that's recalibration. Your body's going through the molecular changes,
Mm,
recalibrating, and see, our organs are becoming more light. That's so that when we move into our fullness of our light body, we just continue on,
yeah.
you know. And so, we might have two livers. One is a light liver, and one's a 3D liver or whatever. But yeah, I mean, and there can be phantom lightning bolts shooting around as well. Um, I mean, let's say that a person had an injury 40 years ago and it hasn't bothered them for years, and then all of a sudden it's in their face. They're going, now, why are you talking to me now, Mr. Knee? You know, but it's our bodies are going through this molecular change, our crystalline structure, and many people are having, they might have a fall. And I say, well, you just shattered your crystalline structure, and this is part of your activation. So, but it's your recalibration that's going on, just moving you out of the physical. And I mean, I think we really have to look at our diets. I mean, I don't know. I can hardly think of anything that I want to eat. I just want to live
And
on
no,
fruit.
what is going on with that? I
Yeah,
mean,
I
okay,
mean, it's
so,
weird.
but okay, so here's the thing. I love to eat. Morgan will tell you, and but I noticed this. This would have happened what right after Sedona, so it would have been like what, a month ago, 3 to 4 weeks ago. I wasn't the only one. It was like everybody I'm talking to is telling me they can't eat. You know what I mean? It's like when June started. I don't know, like, because there was a mad rush, like through the first 5 months of the year, like this purging. Like I purged so much the night. That's why I left Sedona. I purged so much, and they told me get out, and then they showed me that we were, you did what you needed to do, and we cleaned you out. Now go home. for the
Well, they
eclipse.
wanted you to be home for the eclipse too.
How did you know that? Yes, that's exactly what they told me.
I knew that. I knew they wanted to get you
And
back in your little space. I knew
yeah,
that.
and a lady I just saw, she's on here, Diane River, a sister. She and I didn't really know her, but she sent me a note while I was in Sedona, and she said, "You need to get home. You and Morgan are doing something very important." And I knew that already, but I didn't know I had to be home by that day.
Yeah, you needed to be home. But the thing is with your the food, a lot of people, I mean, I know this happens to me. I'll take a bite of something and that's all I want. That's all I
I
need.
know.
Or maybe I didn't even like it and I used to like it. It's food tastes kind of foreign right now. And
It's not taking much either. I can't eat much. I
yeah, well,
cannot. I
you're
can't.
becoming a light. And are you drinking much? I mean,
Uh,
water,
yeah,
water.
yeah. No, I drink about probably 2 to 3 bottles of coconut water a day, and I drink probably 6 or 8 of these. And then I have a couple of coffees, and I juice. I've been juicing.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'll do it.
yeah, I've
That's
been
good.
juicing 2 to 4 cups a day. 2 to 4 16-ounce cups a day.
Yeah, well, that's good. And it certainly saves on the grocery bill.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
the other thing is I'm and I've mentioned this before, but I don't want people to get confused because I'm going to use the word addiction. But what I'm talking about is distraction. And it can be anything from something you smoke or ingest. It can also be shopping. It could be sex. It could be a lot. It could be playing on the phone all the time. It could be a lot of things. But I've noticed that in June, I'm really, really hearing or seeing or aware of what I'm doing or been doing. And it's funny because I'm like outside watching myself and I but
Yes.
it's very strange because it's like, oh, okay, say that eating, because it was sometimes it was a distraction for me, or you could say an addiction. A distraction, I think, is better. And I would notice, oh well, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay. And then I'll go, well, I'm not doing that anymore. So it was almost like I was looking for something to do, you know,
Mhm.
and that's all going away. Everything's going away. Like everything that doesn't serve is actually going away. So it's not,
All the things you used to love, you
yeah.
don't want to do.
Yeah. I don't even eat hot sauce anymore. I'm like a hot sauce
Oh,
fanatic.
that's serious, Todd.
I know it is. I'm like wondering what's going on. I don't really know.
Oh,
Somebody, and I think it was that lady, that sister that told me I needed to go home. I think it was her, Diane Rivers. But I just made this connection. I just realized it. She said Anubis, Sirius, the dog star. And I remember when I went to Sedona the first night, and I've talked about this before, and Anubis came. He ran through the backyard of this house I was staying at, and we connected. And that's the first thing he told me, and I forgot about that. He said, I am a interdimensional being, and I could see he was half dog, half man. Uh,
mhm.
and he said, I am an interdimensional being from Sirius. And she just wrote that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
I do think you have a connection with I mean, a lot of people that are really tied in with the dolphins are very tied in with Sirius as well.
yeah,
So,
the
the
people of the
water.
blue. I remember that. I remember the people of the blue, which is, to me, that's what I call it, where it's in the water though.
Mm-hmm.
I have met people that have gone there. Do you ever have any are you okay to keep going a little bit longer?
Well, what time is it, darling?
Oh, it's 10 minutes after 1. It's 1:10 your time. Oh
Oh, it's
wait, no,
1:10 my
no,
time?
it's 2:10 your time.
Oh, it's 2:10?
Yeah.
No,
You yeah, it
really?
is. We've talked almost 2 hours. Yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
I have a client at 2:30.
Okay, you need to go. I got Franco in 50 minutes.
Yeah, but thank you. What a lovely, lovely time. I'm surprised we went so long, but this is fun.
You know, this is another thing that's happening, right?
Time.
We just talked 2 hours and it felt like 10 minutes.
I know. I kept thinking, wow.
Yeah. I try to talk to Morgan twice a day, so I've had to adjust my schedule. So the second time I talk to her is usually like 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, last night I got on and I said right away, I don't think I can talk very long. I'm beat, you know. And then the next thing I know, it'd been an hour and a half.
I know.
And I was thinking to myself, I feel bad, but I got to tell her I got to go, you know? And I looked at the clock. I thought, so we've been on for 30 minutes. And then I realized it'd been an hour and 30 minutes. And I said to her, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. She goes, no, it hasn't. It's been like 20 minutes. That was an hour and 30 minutes.
So it's 4 o'clock there.
It's 4 o'clock in New York. It's 3 o'clock here. It's 2 o'clock where you're at.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And it's 1 o'clock in Arizona because they're on the California time.
Can I just share one thing before we sign off?
Absolutely. Share whatever you want. Sing a song.
You know, if anybody,
do a dance.
Did you like the song I sang at the chocolate tree?
Everybody liked it. You talk about everybody got quiet. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, what I wanted to say is that if anyone needs me, please just you can write to Victoria Liljenquist at Gmail. If you want sessions, if you're coming to Sedona and you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, please let me know. And because I'll be back in Sedona in August, and because I have lots of people that are already lining up to come and see me, to have one-on-one activations. And I mean, you know, I'm a clairaudient. I mean, whatever you need to work on, or messages or confirmation, you know, there's no structure to it. It just is, because the galactics are always listening. The guides, the masters are always listening, and whatever message needs to come through for you personally comes through. And, you know, I'm just happy to be of service to everybody. So thank you.
Right on. Thank you. This is the best one yet.
Love you, Todd.
Love you too. We'll
do it
again.
God bless everybody, and stay positive. We're almost to the finish line. Hey, we're getting there.
That's what I've been told.
You're the quarterback.
Yeah.
God bless you, Todd. And I'm going to make a donation to you, honey. And I encourage everyone to do that too. And
thank you.
You know, appreciate it.
You take care. Be careful over there.
Let me know when you come to Sedona again too.
Yeah, and give me a shout out when you get back to Sedona.
When I get back to Sedona?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I
so
will.
I know. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Blessings.